Lots of playoff experience from Mirotic. A look at the starters. Thon Maker and Holzer, selected by his coaching peers in the NBA as the... Greg, what are we looking for early? Massive loss for the Pistons without Blake Griffin. How do they atone?
Don't allow him to get out in transition, and that starts with you really operating offensively well. And how about that play right off the bat, Middleton to Lopez?
Prior to the trade deadline, they're going to need a lot from Maker with the Pistons in this series. Here comes Drummond.
It's a scorer as well, and a terrific defender for this Pistons team.
Here's Antetokounmpo putting it down.
Your hopes, though, is that you can get some confidence for some of these young guys who haven't had the opportunity to perform in the postseason.
Lopez. This is Reggie Jackson. That's a three-pointer. No Griffin. They're going to need a lot from Jackson tonight until Griffin's able to come back. And Antetokounmpo is ball time in the building tonight. Antetokounmpo, the drive and kick. That's Bledsoe. And the rebound putback is...
It's been what they've been able to do defensively that's allowed them to kind of blow this thing open here early on.
Good shot. It's their second postseason appearance in 10 years. Their first since the 15-16 season as Ellington in the last couple of years.
It's been a struggle. And it does. The other thing it allows you to do as an organization, nice pass there from Middleton to get Connaughton
Drummond away from the paint, something that the Pistons coaches will try to combat DA in the series. Here's Connaughton again, and he's headed to the free throw line.
And this is an area where I think Mike Budenholzer has had the biggest, in most part, has been in rhythm. And they've been dictating on both sides of the floor.
Beautiful dribble drive.
And that's really the weakness of this Pistons team. And Dwayne Casey talked about it in our pregame meeting as Brook Lopez knocks out another trigger at this stage of his career. He's a perfect piece of the puzzle as Drummond there with the steal.
Drummond to the rack, can't put it down, and he's stuck back tonight. Still out with that left knee injury.
And remember, this is a Bucks team there, and that's a nice.
Reasons why was the play of that man, Andre Drummond. Out of Smith, fading away and hits Greg in the second round, and he, of course, will add that extra element that they've been missing. Kennard to the rack. Here he comes again, full head of steam. Connaughton from deep. Splash! Better than 118 points per game. Pretty impressive start. Zaza Pachulia.
Been a formula for success for them is Brown there in the passing lane. And they are just Giannis on that back line.
So Nikola Mirotic has checked into the game for the Bucks as Kennard hits on
it. So I like the addition of him for this group.
This is Hill on a three. Got it again. To Galloway. Intended pass for Pachulia, broken up by Sterling Brown. Antetokounmpo! Violent finish. Greg, they finally missed.
Yeah, that was a really good rebound there too by Thon Maker. It's rewarded on the other end. I thought that was an example of it as Maker gets the finish.
Maker, the 10th overall pick by Milwaukee back in 2016 as Bledsoe. Maker bothers him in the paint. First time they've kind of thwarted Giannis in the paint in this game. That is Kennard on it. What a start for Mike Budenholzer and his Bucks. Beautiful backdoor cut. Nice defensive recovery by Elias Oban. Ellington, but Kennard starting to hit. Middleton, first-time All-Star this season, has been lights out since the break, better than 21 per game. Dropping a dime to Hill.
That type of impact as well with their understanding and unselfishness of how to play the game.
Beautiful little flow. Robinson, well short.
He gets the ball off the backboard and turns into a guard, sets up his teammates. He should definitely be in consideration for that.
Kareem, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
Guys, back to you.
All right, Jamie, basket crazy.
You know, it's funny. There's this debate going around. Michael Jordan, greatest of all time. Always LeBron in the conversation, and Kobe. And
to go back even further than that, his high school days at Power Memorial in New York City.
UCLA.
Absolutely. It's a huge loss for them, but Milwaukee is playing about as well as anyone could have hoped.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, the unselfishness.
Kumba already a double-double. And the Bucks getting everything they want. 2 quarters complete. It's a tough way to start the postseason for Dwayne Casey. Sterling Brown on a 3. And Milwaukee
is the issue. I think from a strategy standpoint defensively, you got to do a better job of getting to Giannis earlier.
50% shooter inside the paint. He's only 29% outside the paint in terms of his field goal percentage. And there he is again.
Probably because he hadn't had to shoot him. You know, that's probably the first mid-range he's taken this game. He's been able to get wherever he wants, whenever.
First year Budenholzer's system.
Yeah, well, and that's what it was. Having to make the adjustment. The game was going to be played differently, but to his credit but I do think if this team has a legit chance to win it, he is going to be so vital to their success because of that ability right there.
And Brook Lopez having a good old time. Wayne Ellington around a screen and hits. He's to begin the 3rd quarter. It has been incredible. Here he comes again.
Oh, goodness. And because he can do so many things physically, he can create passing angles because of his athleticism.
Award in the NBA, it is just astonishing. Antetokounmpo underneath, taking contact, and look out. This will get the attention of the officials.
Yeah.
Antetokounmpo remaining composed.
You know, things like that.
You weren't always this mild-mannered.
No, you have it happen sometimes, and that's the positive side. Everybody to really thrive, and the team more importantly.
To break, Kennard just can't get the 3 off. Nicely done by Ilyasova. This is Galloway with the corner season. 36-point lead here in Game 1 over Detroit. Shorthanded without Blake Griffin.
And you know what's about to happen.
It's a wild scene outside. Didn't put a damper on the excitement level of this fan base.
No.
And the way the Bucks have played.
Or the team, because both have been stellar. This is a beautiful facility. One of the nicest in our entire.
First time we'll see a team from the East, not led by LeBron James, go to the NBA Finals as Sterling Brown hits for tonight and then some. But Greg, they have thrown down the gauntlet to the rest of the team, certainly in the East and the entire NBA. That is
redeem themselves and hope that Blake is able to come out and give them something.
Here's Pachulia on a little floater case. He's been a very good player for Milwaukee the last couple of years. You saw his role diminished a bit this season with the depth that they have had. There's Luke Kennard again.
Detroit.
He's got 18 points. Dribble drive, beautiful 4th. Smith back to Kennard. Trying to shake Connaughton. It was there, and he hits. That's a lot. In terms of what Blake Griffin's status will be here for Game 2 on Wednesday night. And so this was about as bad a start.
And I tell you, Budenholzer's trying to get him some minutes just to get the rhythm and the timing back.
And it'll be interesting when Brogdon comes back, assuming he is able to come back in the 2nd round. You've got Mirotic, a new piece, Brogdon.
I think it will be. And listen, they've got a roster. I think the one thing that helps, though, is the style that they play. Nice pass there by, when you think about it, you had arguably the greatest player to ever play the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the greatest Buck to ever play. Terrific performance here in Game 1.
And certainly putting was not a mirage. This is a team that is for real, and they are a real championship contender. A minute left in Game 1. Thomas trying to find some daylight. Nice little shifty move down the road
and shocking that Toronto Raptors fan base.
What a job by Steve Clifford. We'll see them on Tuesday night as Frazier putting a perfect exclamation point on this Game 1 victory for the Bucks.
And, you know, there's an old saying, it actually wasn't that close.
The Milwaukee Bucks beginning with